So, we are happy to be here again, y'all. Thank y'all for coming. We are recording.
Ever live audience. I mean, we ain't even really been in the game that long. No, I mean, we got like 300 followers.
Yeah, but like I said, followers don't matter because people be buying followers. You know, you could have followers and your engagement still be 1%. Like we got high engagement on our page, so that matter more than how many followers you got.
That's true.
I just got a certification.
When you like that, you know, like that, and a nice ring to it. So. For those of you who are just now being introduced to SmokeNWord, this is a podcast that was like specifically curated from the minds of Claire and Sasha, right? So we really came up with the concept out of nowhere. Sasha pretty much came up with the SmokeNWord thing. So every episode has a word of the day or a word of the episode, and it's anything from a quote, a song lyric, something crazy my neighbor said. I mean, it could be anything you like under the sun. So Sasha came up with the idea for that, and we pretty much just focused on all the C's. Like I said,
cannabis, community,
consciousness, conversation, critical thinking.
Yes.
The things that really matter.
Yes.
You know, I think a lot of us are not having the crucial conversations with the people we love, with people we work with, and it's just really damaging society. If y'all haven't noticed, the world is messed up.
It's very messed up. In disarray, but it's just because people don't think no more. You know, it's not like when we was kids, critical thinking was a part of school. Now it's just, you know, they not even finishing books, you know. They say they going to college and telling the professors after they assign a book, like, I've never read a whole book in my life, so sorry, I'm not doing that. So it's y'all, because these y'all kids. It ain't for you. But yeah, so we look at it like the conversations you usually have around cannabis, you know, the elevated consciousness stuff. Mm-hmm. That's what the SmokeNWord podcast is all about. So if y'all haven't already, go back and tune in to season 1. We had some great conversations on there, and we just gonna keep it going. We're elevating the value of the show. We got better mics now. we got real videographers. Last season it was like iPhone, you know. Man. So we coming up. We doing the work for y'all. So
we started with nothing, and that's why I would, you know, we trying to promote more and like get out there and create the buzz. So that's where y'all come in. So thank you again for coming, and please share, subscribe, do all that good shit because it really, really means a lot to us.
It does, and it helps. Like we now have a sponsor. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, Trump Natural always been a sponsor, but that's me. You know.
Sponsor yourself.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't know that. But now we have Cincinnati Hemp in the building. Oh!
And I just want to point out really quickly that it's Aquarius season in this. Stand up. I'm 4 of us.
We love Aquarius. We love air signs, you know, down to the Libras too while we here. You know, so we are heading into season 2, and we are very excited. This is actually going to be episode 1, season 2. So y'all getting to witness the birthing of season 2. So we're very excited. We're trying to bring y'all some fresh, more authentic, more deep, but still the same fun content that we've been doing. So we hope y'all enjoy it.
So with no further ado, I think we should get into this word.
Yeah, we got the SmokeNWord of the day for y'all today too.
So this word of the day comes from someone who I feel, I wouldn't call him a household name. You feel me?
Yeah.
I would say you've heard of him if you've been in kindergarten to college, which is pretty much everybody in this room. Mm-hmm. So he came up. One of the most, I would say, renowned philosophers of our time. Mm-hmm. The word of the day comes from Aristotle, actually, y'all.
Okay.
Heard of him?
Yeah. Okay.
A little bit?
Yeah.
It's too many crickets for me.
I went to Water Hills, like, that's why we go. You know, He's an ancient Greek philosopher, study under Plato, if you're familiar with Plato too. So he's probably two of the biggest philosopher names.
Yeah.
My degree's in philosophy, so this is like the stuff that I was, every day reading about and stuff like that.
If you ever wondered why
I'm so deep
so much.
But yeah, so, while we actually think, like I'm trained to think, that's the difference. So
yeah.
Let's go ahead and hit them with the word then.
All right, so the word of the day is from Aristotle, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one way to avoid criticism. Do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing.
Oh, wow. Mm. Let's say that again.
There's only one way to avoid criticism. Do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing.
Mm. That's pretty deep. That is.
Very deep.
So, what comes to mind when you hear that?
I mean, the first thing that I think of is like, you know how people always say, I don't care what anybody thinks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what anybody thinks of me. And I think the reality is we all have, even if it's just at least one person in this world whose opinion you value, whose opinion you respect. There's that one person. And so I was telling Sasha the other day that I watched the full, or like half of the first season with my mother the other day. And after we watched several episodes, she was like, oh, I really like it. But she was like, Claire Lee, you got a potty mouth. And I was like, shit. Dude. And even on the way home, I'm like thinking to myself, like, I internalized it completely. Even though I don't necessarily care that I curse a lot or whatever, when it comes from that one person. That one person whose opinion you respect and matter the most, like I said, I internalized that. And I started thinking about this podcast and like how I present myself and all these different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, okay, I do care what some people
say.
Not everybody, but some people, you know. And I just feel like overall, criticism should always be constructive.
Yes,
that's
the only way I'll receive it.
Sometimes people just want to talk shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just want to put you down.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the reality is, like, any type of feedback, criticism should come with love, right?
Yeah. And valuable insight, So, like you said, we care. I think when it comes to you caring, when I think about it, it's like, do you respect this person it's coming from? Are they credible? So, for instance, you're not finna tell me nothing about, like, I've been watching that balloon pop show. Everybody come out talking about their personal trainers. The body does not show it. So, it's just some things you're not finna tell me. So, just an example.
The messenger matters.
It does matter. So we've talked a lot about criticism, and a lot of us do stagnate because of the fear of criticism. It's not actually that you necessarily even care, particularly what they say, but it's just the fear of the possibility of it sometimes that stagnates us. And so that came to mind for us a lot in doing this podcast, because after we're doing the first couple episodes last season, you got to look at yourself on screen, You see these idiosyncrasies that you didn't even know you had, You might dig in your nose and you don't even realize it. It's the things that you don't even notice about yourself, too. So self-criticism, is something that has to be addressed, too. So it has been a lot of us coming out of our shells, to do this. And Claire has a theater major, so she's not new to the stage,
But I'm new to this.
Yeah.
And it's a new demon for me.
Yeah. So we just want y'all to know what's going into all this.
So we were going to have a special guest, our homie Tribs. We have to shout her out on this podcast because she was integral to our growth during our first season.
Yes.
Ashley Tribs, we went to high school with her. She's actually a podcast producer for iHeartRadio. Yep. So we'll tag her in the video and all of that good stuff. But She is someone we truly, truly love, respect, and cherish, and she gave us a lot of gems as far as starting out. Because like when you start a podcast, you don't.
We just talked in the corner stuff. We didn't know.
It's like we had a vision, but we didn't really know how to piece it together, and so. We just want to thank her and shout out to you, Trip.
Yes, yes.
And speaking of people that we love and respect,
yes,
we should bring up our first guest.
We have our first guest.
And I just want to say real quick, before we bring up this gentleman, I met him through Sasha years and years ago, and he's the traveling bong man, okay? This man will whip out a glass bong in the middle...
That's how I'm at.
I'm literally in the middle of nowhere, and he's. I mean, and no one said a thing.
Right. So we ready for you guys? Come on up.
Come on up. Give him a round of applause. Pleasure. Look.
So
yeah, we gonna let you introduce
yourself.
Am I good?
Yeah.
Hey, it's good, y'all. My name is Yazi. I don't even know how to explain myself because I'm in the process of consolidating like what I do because I just be doing a lot of shit. And so I'm kind of just going back and not regressing, but just seeing what's ultimately important to me and just focusing on those. So the main thing that's I'm focused on is getting my 20-foot tall and 60-foot long greenhouse going up so I can start growing year round and then start having educational courses teaching particularly Black people how to make your own soil and how to break down compost, because this is going to be a thing you're seeing in our future already in a whole bunch of products. You're seeing regenerative titles on things instead of organic, and so instead of niggas being left behind, I can put it in a real easy way, and it's a very cheap way as well, so then everybody can kind of understand how to grow the most fire, whatever, and then can come together on the community level, start selling compost, soil, amendments, all these just different types of things, but really kind of reforming and shaping the idea of community economy, because shit's about to get ugly, so you either got to start forming some other shit or just start getting ready to be enslaved a little bit.
So yeah, but we need to really introduce him.
Life's changing. Like you said, community is the thing now. Learning how to do your own thing, build, grow, change your diet, change your habits, change what you care about. So yeah. So tell us how you got into this. I could have introduced you as a cannabis enthusiast, a chef.
So many things.
You do all these things, so.
Well, I got into this from cannabis, and cannabis is one of the coolest things in my personal life because it has been one of the causes of some of my biggest trials and turmoils that I've created in my relationship and understanding what my relationship is with cannabis. And so in that relationship, I have been taken into the world of natural farming, and so I was just chilling at my homie Travis's house. Travis is the owner of this company called North Coast, which is a pre-roll and concentrate company up in Detroit, Michigan. And they won several Hot Times Cups, and I do all their podcasts and stuff. And so this was years before he had all this going. We just chilling on his couch. He's rolling up a fucking 4-gram backwood of some fire, and I'm like, he rolled it up in 30 seconds, just mashed the roller. And then he's like, you ever heard of labs? I'm like, the fuck is that? And he's like, oh, you gotta see this. It's this dude named Chris Trump. And I was like, oh, what the fuck you got me watching? Because this was during the first term. He was like, oh, nah, it's not related. I was like, oh, okay, bet. Basically, it's just how to take some milk and some fermented rice water, and then you can make a ferment for not just your gut, but your soil. It's a soil amendment, so then it's a natural way to soil condition without having to till. You just give it time and microbes and spray it down, and then it'll come back to life. And so it was a video 7 minutes long, and I was like, wait, it's that easy and you can do that? He was like, yeah. He then took me outside of this thing. He had these huge hugel mounds. A hugel mound is where you dig a giant trench and then you fill it with a whole bunch of big dead tree logs, and then you top that off with like some compost food scraps, and you top that off with like some shredded wood chips, and then you keep on layering it up until you got this big ass mound, and you top it off with more wood chips, and now you have a closed system for the next 30 to 50 years that you won't have to water. As soon as you get to that 5 to 7 year mark, whatever you plant on there now has its own ecosystem, creates its own heat, creates its own water. Cool shit. She sprayed the lab on there, and then you lift it up and you saw all this white stuff, and I was like, oh, what's that? It's like, this is mycelium, which is just fungi, which tells you have really good breakdown of organic materials. I was like, this shit is fucking cool. And then he was like, yeah, this is all this is how I'm about to grow my weed. And so this is how you get the best nutrient content, because in all your food, it's everything you consume. It all is coming from the soil first and foremost. So if your soil is void of just basic nutrients that have already been there, because you can just go take a hike in the forest and see these massive trees, those take a lot of nutrients. So you can already see this has happened. So you just imitate that. You don't try to reinvent the wheel, just already copy it. And so I don't want to get religious or nothing, but I don't believe in like God in the aspect of like the Bible or anything like that. I believe in God with evidence. And my evidence is all of this. It's the earth, it's the creatures, it's the trees, it's everything I can't see, but it's protecting me. I got a homie, her name is Alexa. She had this, philosophy concept. She had this concept about microbes, because your skin, all your skin, you're not really seeing your skin, you're seeing a armor of microbes that are constantly protecting you. Can't see them. All around the air. There's so many toxins in the air consistently, and there's a whole bunch of microbes. And then her theory is, what if those have been always our angels? You have all of these things consistently working for you, working around you, protecting you, even could be swaying you and moving you to do certain things. And I was like, now you're getting on some trippy shit. I'm trying to get into
the parasites influence your brain. So why couldn't the microbes influence?
Why couldn't a parasite be a demon? And why couldn't the
Don't even get please. I beg you.
My teacher, he actually majored in biblical studies, and the dude that taught him, he went in the Bible verse by verse and found the microbial evidence of the historical evidence. So he was like, oh, when they said they washed their hands with this and they did this, it's because they was about to perform surgery. And so they was, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, that's,
it get deep.
It get deep.
And so that's how I got into it. I got into it from weed, being a weed.
They'll do that.
Fucking love weed, and it got me to be like, I want the best fire weed ever, and I saw the best fire weed was made from the best soil, and I was like, I can't go back now. How do I do that?
Right.
That's it.
And I love what you like.
How you taking it to the next level too? Like now you're teaching everybody how to grow everything. Absolutely, because that's where we're headed. You know?
Right. It's not just about cannabis.
Trick them with the weed and be like, wait, I can grow.
It's gonna be that. That's how you really is. That's how you really is.
So let's get your 2 cents on this word. Like what?
All right, so I'm gonna make it quick.
He doesn't repeat.
Repeat it one more time.
Okay. So it is. There is only one way to avoid criticism: do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing.
So I just recently went up and helped my natural farming assist teach a course at Michigan State, and I was super sick. So I was like, I only went to half a semester at NKU, and I'm out here fucking helping teach PhD. And so the woman also, she was also assistant. She is had this art exhibit at this local place in Jackson, Michigan, and it was a death doula exhibit. So they had all these like coffins built out of like just a whole bunch of cool materials, old school style coffins. They had this real cool like auditory one where it was a happy birthday song that somebody's deceased mother like sang to them, and they had to record it, so you listened to it, and it was like had this like warm chill to it. It was crazy. Like it was some real cool shit. So yeah, so it was a changing experience. It was just like, it was like that. I was like, damn, okay, I'm looking at this different. So I look at this as like a life cycle. I look at when you start off in life, you're supposed to be as loud as possible. That's why toddlers and babies so loud, right? I think a lot of the times, parents, they fuck up because they always try to just silence and tame those things.
Yes.
When in reality, those are the specific conflicts that they're designing for themselves that they're going to have to seek an answer for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your first period, all the way up until teenager, up until 20s. What I consider being hard-headed. You know, you need to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
So you got all this adversity. People don't fuck with me. All this shit. You know, your lack of accountability. It's when you get to about that 25 to, I'd say, about like 35 age. That's when you're still going to be loud and you're still going to be making them same, like similar mistakes. They're going to get less and less and less. And you're going to kind of figure out how to use your voice as a specific laser rather than spilling out to everything, because you don't need all the enemies. You don't need all the opponents. You know, direct your negative energy at the people who you want to direct that at, or it's going to come back in an odd way. And then I think it's the opposite is then once you become an elder, that's when you want to be, you want to be nothing. You don't want to be heard. You want to be still. That's when you just want to kind of reflect and look at everything that hopefully you've left a good imprint on. Or look back and see, I'm accountable for there being a whole bunch of bullshit out now, I'm unfortunately, I thought I was going to be able to chill as an elder, but now I'm going to have to break out of the cycle, and I'm going to have to use my voice because elders' voices are extremely important in times like these, or else we not going to know how life was and have no semblance of an actual reality. And so that's where we're in a weird phase to me with my concept of that. Because I'm like, that to me is the natural life cycle, but we're in an unnatural time, so you got to adjust. And so to me, it's kind of like, I know the elders are tired, but niggas need to speak up because niggas are stupid. We need to learn.
I mean, let's talk about it. I mean, if you're not...
I'm including niggas. It's this brash hard-headedness of just like thinking like we know the way and this and that. When it's like the elders could speak up and be like, I've seen somebody like you before. This is where they went wrong. This is where they fucked up. I would like to just tell you their story. I like that, you know, just things like that. And I think a lot of elders just miss out on that being some haters. And so I would like to see better.
So we got to be able to receive.
Do y'all see why we brought this man on the show?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you're not with us, you're not with us.
Right.
That's just that. So, thank you so much. Tell the people where we can follow you, what you got going on.
YouTube. I have a new part of my personal podcast, The Wonderful World of Yazi, coming out tomorrow on Yazi Wild 1313. That's YouTube. And then we'll do Instagram. Yazi 13, YAZI 13 on Instagram. And then I'm trying to get these my website going so I can learn how to be professional because I be fucking
It's so hard.
But you trying to stay wild a little bit, like you were just talking about. You know, we still got you in us, so it's going to be a little wildness there. But that's what we really appreciate about you as a person, because you always bring it back around to
I appreciate y'all so much too, because they like really show like real love, and I fuck with them for like ever. And to like one thing that is extremely important to me is Black women being more prominent in cannabis, because there is just something inherent in Black women's spirit that once you get this connection with this soil and then you get to see these plants and you get this cycle of consumption for you, you'll have a whole different outview on life for you, and then that's just going to naturally leak out to everybody else, because that's just my theory that once Black women are healthy and good, everybody else can just get the
right.
Thank you so much. Give him another round of applause. I know some of y'all in here, y'all didn't know what he was talking about, did y'all? Y'all didn't. Some of y'all didn't. I know. Like, he told me y'all had, but that's why
he's a teacher.
That's why we focus. You're such a great healer. You're such a great teacher. Please don't ever stop shining your light.
He just getting started. So yeah, we love that. And
like I said, the traveling bond man, he's the only man I can see in broad daylight in a bar downtown somewhere.
and I'm like, yeah.
Some type of car we need to get that car.
I carry my Yaz car. Can you put me out? I got my Yaz car. So
y'all having a good time? What's up? Yeah. Taking y'all calls. Sorry about the little brief intervention, and we might as well.
We gonna get right to it.
Right to our next
special. Another person we love.
Come on up here, nigga. Child might know. Come on up here, nigga. Clap it up. We gonna let you introduce yourself too, cuz.
Yes.
Why not?
I'm these real niggas friends. I'm talking about they done sat in my little dirty little apartment. I done sat in they look like I'm talking about who came up. I live with my mama. Sis lived with her mom. We go that far back. Like Karinne didn't drive. So anytime Claire and Karinne
still can't drive.
I can't drive, but I have a license and a car now. I mean, I ain't giving anybody anything to say. But and I say that to say, so I am a comedian. I have been doing comedy for 13 years. I have been performing all around the Midwest and all of the things. I have performed with Cheryl Underwood. I have performed with Jordan Rock, the youngest of the Rock that's doing stuff right now. Just Sam J. I posted for her. Like, I've had a lot of opportunities, and that is great, and I love that, and that's one of my most favorite things to do. But being these women's actual friends and seeing how far we've grown since we've known each other about our mid-20s, and knowing like college days, like, so while being a comedian is great and that's beautiful, but to be a friend of somebody, like a real front row seat of the development and the beautiful thing that y'all got going on here, and just being a part of each of our journeys, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all saw me in the little on the chitlin circuit. It's what hole in the wall. We was, you know what I'm saying, on a Tuesday night telling the same joke to 3 niggas. 2 of them was fresh and motherfucking Justin. Type shit. But yeah, so now I get to go to comedy clubs and I get to do dope shit like this, and so now I see y'all like we started with the iPhone and now we here, and just as women and people, and shout out to Miss Deb. Shout out to Mama Sasha. Like, they know they met my mama. Like, I'm in the living room right now. I'm at home. This is family. This is love. I mean,
so we're so glad to have you.
That's so beautiful.
Speaking of growth, I'm so proud of you. And I told Sasha I was gonna call you out because Karinne for years would go to open mics and comedy shows, wouldn't fucking tell us about it.
Oh yeah.
And I would be like, oh, you have a show. Like, I see somebody else poster. Like, oh, tag her in the story. I'm like, so I really have to get her soul. Like, can you please start letting y'all niggas know what you're doing?
I can. I absolutely hate social media.
I said all that to say, though, that you've gotten so much better. I know every show she got now. Y'all like, I'm at the comment. Tag. I'm at this. I'm at that.
We need to be able to show up.
We don't know what we don't know.
For sure.
I ain't no mind reader.
For sure. I hear you on that. And that's my bad. I don't like to promote myself for some reason. I don't come.
You have to.
I'm a black woman and I play the background so well.
But you're promotable.
Which is terrible.
That's the thing.
And I am good at what you do. And I am that too. I ain't even go, you know. Give me that flowers. It's a whole bouquet. It's a bouquet. Take that.
So this would be the perfect word for you because I'm not gonna lie, y'all. One of the last comedy shows I went to see Karinne was at Go Bananas.
Oh yeah.
And she was in it was like the amateur competition.
Comedy competition, yeah.
And your parents were in like front row center. And she did a whole bit about pegging. Y'all with me? Some of y'all might not be with me.
Yeah.
She did a whole bit about pegging. begging, and I'm sitting there like, Mama, could I ever? Stand-up comedy is something different. Yeah. So we know you know all about.
We gonna repeat the word. All right. Aristotle said there is only one way to avoid criticism. Do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. So we know, I would say being a comedian is probably one of the hardest professions when it comes to criticism.
For sure. It's art form.
Yeah.
For sure. Because you get your criticism immediately.
Right.
Most places you do your job, you get a job review, you get a schedule, your H&R, you know what day you getting criticized. Couple of weeks to prepare for it, you might try to show up that whole week early just to plan it, you know. You do so you know when you are on stage with a microphone, your critique comes the second those words fly out of your mouth. And it's going to be one of two things, which is, or it could be a multitude of things, but usually it's just silence or laughter. And then guess what? There's no other person you can fault for that. It's just you and the mic up there, man. Ain't no other niggas. It's not a project. I'm not waiting for nobody to see that fucking thing. I got a boss to get on my motherfucking nerves when I'm up there. You know what I'm saying? It's just you. You the only nigga to blame right now. And so that the idea of that is real crazy because I was so crazy, and to get to the word, I never felt like that.
Really?
And I tell you why, because the word thing says to do nothing, be nothing. I am nothing. You why? Because I am everything. You can't criticize me real bad.
Karinne about to going up.
And that's not to say that I don't care, and that's not to say that I'm not a human being, and that's not to say that when your mama it be your mama that be the one to tell you something that you ain't even think about, you be like, all right, Ma. Miss Rhonda told us to take our flyer down because we was flipping
had the middle finger. She was like, you
yes. Anybody else? You're like, I'm grown. I'm not some gift I don't care. Right. She said, it's like, you know what? Maybe I should get your little fingers down. Let me just do the little millennial. You know, we love
that's how we get
a peace sign and a jean jacket. One of these.
That's how she got
type shit.
I've watched you grow as a comedian. And I can honestly say, like, you've come so far.
Yes.
And like I said, I agree. I'm a fine artist, if you will. And I have never seen, I would never know how to even begin to get up in front of people and make them laugh. Just talking in front of people is difficult.
Yeah.
So arousing a response of laughter, like, it's hard.
That just comes from being bad. I was just bad. You know, I'm probably on a spectrum or something. Oh, that's right. Like type shit. Neurodivergent. I go back a little deeper to you. That's always been my defense mechanism. I'm the youngest of 3 daughters. Shout out to my dad. I gotta preface it with he is now somewhere going towards 30 years clean, right? So that's why I gotta preface it with that. Right? Shout out Dad. But in my childhood, he was absent due to a drug addiction that he did have at the time. And so I was the youngest of a single mother with 3 daughters. Listen, if I didn't make shit funny, it wasn't nothing to be laughing at. It wasn't shit funny at the time. We 1990 whatever, all in this little small house. We got a dog, but Mom making away. We get bikes. We got a little Christmas party. We had the little sheep cake and the juice and the hot dog. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Mama get a room at the Holiday Inn. You can go swimming now. Yeah, that was mine. But the party was mine though. And not to mention, that's a $200 maybe $120 room at the time.
Yes.
My mama's single mom. It's the 90s, but she made it happen. So I'm saying I was rich. You couldn't tell me I wasn't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I went to the hairdresser, got my perm every couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? Had my wrap and my roller on the top of it. Yeah. That's the Catholic school. So I'm saying my mom was out there hustling, but I'm saying the defense mechanism of not having a dad there, having to see my mom like curl her hair and cry at the same time because she don't know how good of a mom she's actually been. And then what's crazy is my mom and dad just got remarried last year. Correct. That's what he ain't gonna get it in her real bad, but it's just I'm sure she was crying for her best friend. She was sad, like, because when you see them come back together. So I'm saying I always had to just make shit. I had to make something out of what?
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
I'm nothing.
And it's crazy because I feel like so many comedians have similar stories, like rooted in like some type of deficit or like
a tragedy of pain. A lot of comedians said it comes from a place of pain, which is ironic when you think about it.
It's like you could go as light as Kevin Hart naming his one of his specials, "Laugh at My Pain." You can go as deep as looking at somebody like Robin Williams.
Oh yeah,
who it's always the tears of a clown. You know what I'm saying? And so it is my greatest defense mechanism, my humor. I just now was like, well, shit, I'm gonna try to heal and get paid for the shit that I do. I'm just tell niggas my problems and make them laugh, and I'm gonna be like, all right, you ain't that crazy then, bitch. I need my working out. That's what we all do.
We out here fighting for our lives.
Baby, find a way to get in pain.
We want to thank you, Karinne. Let's leave a ping, just like Yazi. Where you at? What you got coming up? What's the next show?
So this is going to probably air maybe before or after that, but I'll tell y'all the audience on February the 2nd. It's a Sunday. I will be headlining Go Bananas. It is a night that they are letting me book and host. I'm calling it the Cookout.
Okay.
So please go pull out. Yeah, Karinne's Cookout is the Sunday, February the 2nd. I'm asking y'all go to gobananas.com, buy some tickets. I'm trying to show the owners and the people of Montgomery, Ohio, and all of that stuff. Right. But I'm starting to see like black comedy is not just like hooting and hot. Like it's in Cincinnati and we doing it well. And so I'm trying to bring
coming up. It's changed a lot, and I only know that through you for real.
Right.
So
Please
you
come out the second year. And then it's like the second day of Black History Month. It's about to be a whole bunch of niggas. Like it's about to be. So come be a nigga in Montgomery for me, right? Real place.
They don't like it, but real quick.
We gotta pump out. We gotta pump out and cook out.
Really appreciate it.
No, I love y'all. I'm very thankful. Thank y'all to have me. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, Karinne, 1R, 2N.
Thank you so much.
You know it. We gonna tag everything in the description. You know when we post this and everything, so y'all got everything. So.
Yeah, stay tuned.
I appreciate y'all, ladies. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Give her a round of applause. She got the vegan level. Right. Vegan level.
Blue hair lady.
Man.
Nah, she really, see, I don't know who gonna get deep. That's the thing. You know, you might see him on the street with a bomb, you might catch her and go bananas. You don't know who could get deep.
Man, you really don't know, man.
No. But that's all people we roll with.
Really. So we gonna wrap this on up.
Yeah.
Because we feel like we did it.
Yeah.
I feel like we gonna get our final thoughts, like hit the bye-bye, you know,
Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer's my final thoughts. Jerry thoughts.
What are your final thoughts?
I would say that life has taught me to accept and receive criticism as it comes, you know, and that no matter what you do, you're going to receive it. So get out there and do what you're here to do, you know. Like I said in the beginning, we only here 100 years, if that. You know, most of us diabetes finna take y'all out. So, you know, no, she Say you got good 85 weeks. Like, I don't want to, ain't nobody on their deathbed talk about, I wish I would have shut up more. Like, you know what I mean? So, that's been my motto for this past year. Like, I did so many things last year. I felt like, I don't know, I ain't had no job like Tommy, but I was working. You know what I mean? I got laid off from my job and just got out there. I got 4 certifications. I got hired to work for a senator. I got all this new stuff going on, you know. So, and it might look like I'm all over the place to the rest of the world, but I know I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
Amen.
So that's just what it means to me. It's like I'm done caring what people think or what they don't think, as long as the Most High is accepting of me. That's where I'm at. What's your final thought? What's Jerry's thoughts?
I don't know, man. I don't have much to say. I feel like the guest did it for me today. I mean, we have such a great group of people here, and I wish, like, for y'all at home watching this eventually, like, y'all don't even know the energy is so pure in here.
It is. It's beautiful.
So thank y'all, and just be yourself.
Just be.
That's really all I gotta say.
Just be. Like,
stop worrying about shit.
We human beings. Being. And this world got us being human doings. You know what I mean? Mm. And so many of us, we base who we are and our value on what our output. You know? And you much more than what you produce. You much more than what people could see and some accolades and all of that. Like, who are you? How do you make people feel? How do people experience you? Whose life have you changed just from a presence in the room? Yep. You know? And that's something I can honestly say I learned from my mom. Like, she's a bubble in every room she goes.
She is.
You know? And has been that way since I was a child. So that alone, just being her daughter, has shown me that it's okay to be. No matter who wants to silence you or say, hey, you being too loud, or shut up, do this, do that. You are who you are for a reason, and God don't make no mistakes. As long as you're being authentically you can never be wrong. So just be. And we hope that SmokeNWord podcast, myself, my bestie here, that we can continue to inspire people to be yourselves. And whatever you're meant to do is directly attached to who you're meant to be.
Amen. Amen.
So we can remix the quote a little bit.
Yeah.
Do something.
Something.
Be everything. Say everything. That's really what matters. Like, that's what stay on. We be all ourselves back. So
No longer.
not to get too.
Yeah, we still, we time. Yeah. We love y'all.
Thank y'all for coming out. Appreciate y'all.